Hey YouTube, Justin with Tac2 Weapons here for the Second Amendment. Today I'm going to show you how to separate the upper and lower on the Gforce Arms Gf25. First of all, the things that you're going to need is a 1/2 inch socket, deep well, short well, it don't matter. And at least 3 extensions. I got 2 short ones and a long one. And a 3/8 ratchet. Which the 3/8 ratchet will come in handy. It gives you the right amount of torque and everything. And then a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, and make sure your gun is clear. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. My mag is not in the gun, it's laying here. And then pull our bolt back, make sure the chamber is clear, which it is. What we're going to do first is take and lock our bolt back. So you can use the bolt release on this side of the gun to lock the bolt back by pushing down on it, which I'll show you. Pull the bolt back, take and push down on the bottom of this bolt release, let the bolt forward. So you can see there, I got that pushed in, and that's how that is. So what we're going to do is take our takedown lever that's right here. We're going to flip this down like that. Come over here on this side. We have our feed ramp in here. Now you can see it's down. I'm going to take my finger and push down on that, and you hear it click like that. So we're going to let our bolt back forward. I'll pull them back on it, let it go back forward. Flip the gun around. Take and get your number 2 Phillips head screwdriver and take the Phillips head screw that's in the buttstock out. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Back the screw out about halfway out of the rubber. I'll show you what that looks like. It should look like that, sticking out. So what we're going to do is pull up on the base here on the back and pull back towards the bottom of the gun, and that will come right out. Because you got that nub that sticks off there that goes into this notch right here on the stock. So we're going to set that aside and our screwdriver. Take and get our extensions, our socket and ratchet, stick it down in here, and take this loose. So that 1/2 inch socket is just right actually. So we're going to break this loose, back this all the way out. Take our ratchet off because it's already loose. And we're going to grab the upper and lower like this. Thumbs in the trigger guard, fingers are on top of the gun in front of the sight. We're going to make sure that extension, everything's still on there. We're going to tilt the gun up and slowly pull outward on the extension and socket and everything, and you'll have all this. So we're going to take our bolt and everything, take it out of the extension and set it aside. Do not, if you ever have to take this apart, make sure you lay it out the way you took it apart, which I'll show you something when this goes back in. Now we can separate our upper and lower from each other. What we're going to do is pull down on the back part like that, and this whole thing, because you'll have to pull down a hair and it'll slide back. So that's pretty much what the upper and lower look like when they're separated. And just give you guys a heads up there. And for that feed ramp that I was telling you about, this is part of the takedown lever. When the feed ramp's up, you can see there, that's what it looks like. Sometimes you may have to reach in there and go like that and tap it, or push it forward. Sometimes you don't. But every time you take this gun apart, make sure you flip this down and then push down on it. Make sure that's down when it's on the gun and stuff. You do not want this sticking in there against the bolt or anything. And now it's time for reassemble of the up and lower. What we're going to do is line up our nub that's on here, right there, with the nub that's on the upper and lower. Which I'll spin this around here so you guys can see it. That little notch right here with the notch that's on here. So we're going to go like this, slide it straight in, and then come up like that. It'll drop down on. So I'll do that again so you guys can see it. I'm going to hold it up about that far, bring it up, then slide it down. And then I'm going to set it down on the floor carefully without it coming apart. And we'll hold it together with my finger through the trigger guard and my thumb on the top of the gun. Or whichever way you guys have to do it, it's easier for you. So I'm going to hold all that together. Now, this piece here, I'll show you guys something here. This thing is angled just a hair. You can see how the top of it's angled. So the angled part goes towards the receiver of the gun. And you'll see it anyway when you take it apart. You'll see the scratch mark on the back from the lock washer, which is on the bolt. So it's pretty easy to tell when you're taking it apart. If you ever have to do, just watch for that scratch mark and put that against the lock washer, just like that. So we're going to put that back into our socket, just like that. We're going to grab the gun with the upper and lower. Make sure you got a hold of it. Flip it around. And let me get a better hold on it here for you guys. Okay, got a better hold on it. So we're going to take our extension with the bolt and slide it into here. I'm going to hold the gun upward. And then after I get that all the way in, I'm going to set it down on the floor. Like that. Another way you can do it too, if you got the stock off the gun, you can try and feed it in that way. But this way is a heck of a lot easier because you got everything held together and you don't have to sit there and try and worry about the bolt pushing itself back up out. The bolt will just drop so far down and you just start screwing it in. So this way is a heck of a lot easier, as you can see here. I'm going to make sure that's together, picking up on it, which it is. I'm going to take my extension and hold it and put the ratchet back down in it and tighten this up. So I'm going to torque this pretty good because of that bracket and lock washer and everything's there. So that'll give me the right amount of torque I need with the 3/8 ratchet. So I'm going to go ahead and torque that. You don't have to overly do it, just do it until it stops. Or you can put your hand here and give it a little bit of a pull. If it don't turn no more, should be good. But that's what I'm doing, make sure it's torqued. And take this back off. Sometimes that socket will stick in there, so be careful on that. want to take our butt pad, slide this back down in there like that, and just push down, you hear it click. Take our number 2 screwdriver and screw this back down in like this. And after you tighten this up, use your fingers at first, kind of like just to hold the screwdriver, then twist it. And then after it stops with your fingers, make sure you take and grab it just like this. Just grab it here and just give it like the turn with your whole hand. Do not overly torque it, just turn it till it stops. Because you're threading the metal screw in the plastic and you don't want to strip it out. And it'll be pretty tight anyway. And then come back around here, slide your bolt back, lock the bolt, flip the takedown lever towards the top of the gun, reach in here, touch the feed ramp, make sure your feed ramp's all the way up, and let your bolt back forward, and if you have your mag gear, stick it back in. And that's how you separate the upper and lower on the Gforce Arms Gf25. Comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.